Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this Storytellers and Naysayers. It's my storytelling show, and I interview storytellers from all over the country. And and this storyteller we met a couple times at Babs Labs, and she told stories which were pretty awesome. I just recently saw her at the Blue Jay Listening Room in Jacksonville Beach too. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Melanie. How are you?
Hi, I'm
Awesome. Thanks
doing
for being my
good.
guest.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Looking forward to talking to you because we met at Babs Labs and we were sharing stories, and it was a whole lot of fun. And I'm glad I got to meet you that night. And you were talking
Yeah.
about um they didn't think you belonged to your parents when you were traveling internationally, and I remember that story. I was like,
Oh
this is the
my
most intense
God.
story ever. Yeah.
It actually got resolved after
Yep,
the story.
indeed.
And this itself could be a whole story. I went to Atlanta to pick up my passport, like emergency passport. Um, and they didn't believe that I was a citizen, even though they were the ones that told me I was a citizen. So for the next 3 days, I spent fighting the government and trying to prove to them that I was a citizen. Calling my dad, finding my tax records, finding my medical records, finding my school records. And every time I would find something, it would take them 3 hours to respond. And when they did, they would go, "It's not enough." And the last day, I got it, and then I had to drive by myself. Oh, that was by myself. 5 hours back home to get catch my flight. I had to fly back on I had to drive back on Friday. I got back home at 10 p.m. and I had to leave home at 12 to go and catch my flight to Colombia. So it was already back to back to back to back. It was, but I got it. I'm
And
legal.
absolutely. I'm glad you are. I didn't know they gave you so much trouble. It's just unreal how they could just give you the runaround so much. And it's like, how do I, yes, especially since you're like an ex Navy brat, you'd be in every system in the world. It
That's what
just
I'm
doesn't make
saying.
sense.
My
Unreal.
It's stupid. And they're the ones that told me. It's just so weird. So their system will say, I don't know. I'm imagining it's like a number that says yes, no, and it said yes, and I'm a citizen, and it said so. Like their system says so, but then they're like, prove it to us. It's like the tax system. They know how much money you make.
Yep.
They want you to prove to them how much money you make. It's fucking stupid. But I won.
This, I'm glad you won, and I'm glad you're
Thank
here,
you.
and we get to share stories on stage together. And
Yes.
yep, the world works out in our favor. So,
Exactly.
yep.
Exactly. That's what I
So,
have.
speaking
Oh.
of world, since you're a Navy brat, you live everywhere. Like growing up, did you travel a lot since your parents were in the Navy and stuff?
I mean, I could have traveled more. I lived in Spain from 7 years old to 9 years old. I don't remember too much. The main thing I remember was this Chinese lady that had really good fucking food. But I don't remember that much from Spain. Lots of yellow, lots of cobblestone. And then I came here when I was 9, and my parents divorced when I was 12. And if they hadn't divorced, I would be in Japan right now. So, yeah. So, lose some, win some, lost.
And
Yeah. I could be more cultural right now, but it's okay.
it's all
And
good.
then, I was born in Colombia too. So, because of my dad, I get to be here. I would still be in Colombia, like the rest of my family, if it weren't for him.
Indeed.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up in Colombia? What was it like? Is it anything like the movies, or is that all made up?
Um, I don't know what Colombian movies are showing. I guess the only one I can think of is like Encanto, which so
Oh,
it's not all dancing. Well, there is a lot of dancing. There is a lot of dancing. There's a lot of dancing in Colombia. Um, it's a third world country, so it's very poor. You bring $4 there, and you bring four American dollars, and over there it's like 16 pesos, like 16,000 pesos, and it's so poor that like you don't buy things in bulk, you buy them singular. So you can go and buy a singular pill or a singular band aid, or it's all singular. Taxis cost like $2 maybe to get from one side of a small town to the other, and it's no air conditioning, so everyone's always out on the streets. So it's very. There's a lot of community, and in most third world countries, there tends to be a lot of community because people have to stick together. So growing up, I would like walk down the street by myself and get some food from the corner store, and the ladies knew me, so they would like give me like slices of oranges. Um, and then I'd go down the street from that, and everyone has what they call apodos, which is like nicknames. Everyone has a really so they would tell me, "Hey Mel, can you go pick up some milk from the lady with the big feet?"
See,
It's messed up. Yes, mom. And she did have big feet.
oh man, that's great.
No, it's great.
Awesome.
No
Like,
one takes themselves seriously. My name was Mechu, which means like messy hair because my hair was always like this. So they called me Mechu, which means Mechuda, which means you got a fucked up hair, bro. Like that's what
it's same as Cambodia. It's like it's a third world country, and I've been there 3 times. And like they like my name's common, but like my parents shrink it to boy, so it's like they say that's boy's parents over there, or it's so much easier to say my name as boy for some reason. So that's what my lifelong nickname was. I'm like, all right, that works for me, I guess. Even though
boy.
I get yep boy,
That's so
and even though I
funny.
get misgendered a lot, I'm like, this is just.
It's funny. Get misgendered a lot.
Yeah. And I'm like, I wish I got Mr. Gendered. That'd be nice if I got Mr. Gendered for once.
Mr. Jenner. And your name is Boy.
Yep. And well, like my close family and friends, like growing up, they call me boy, but like everyone else in the world says Sareth. So it's like your name, your nickname, and my nickname, and the lady with the big feet's nickname. Indeed.
That's how you know you're around family when the
Yep,
boy comes out. Like,
absolutely.
oh, there they go.
Indeed. It's like
Yeah.
I know being like misgendered. I joke about it like a lot when I did stand up and like going to Thailand and seeing people that like my uncle described as lady boys. They call them lady boys over there. And I'm like, well, if I was a lady boy, I'd be Tech Norris.
No.
Because they ride around in techs over there. So it's like, okay, I'm just gonna.
Ladyboy. that's just
Indeed.
that's just their straight way to say that you're pretty. I just don't want to say
Yeah.
that. You make
Oh,
me question
man.
my sexuality, so I'm just gonna call you Ladyboy. You won.
Right.
You win.
And there's like this lady that was at the Blue Jays show, and she was like talking to Grant because she wanted him to sign her book that Grant wrote, and she called me a lady. I was
Oh.
like, this is so embarrassing. Maybe I should.
What?
Yep, I think she was on something too. So I'm like, I'm just gonna let it slide.
It's awesome. You got like war flashbacks.
Right? I'm like, all right, I should hit the gym and get rid of these man chi-chis.
No, just donate them to me. I'm accepting donations, everybody.
Yep, Mel's Venmo is on the bottom, so
Venmo's at the
donate
bottom.
away. I love this.
Help us get a peck exchange.
Indeed. Sounds good. I think I should I don't know. I'm thinking about sharing that story at the next Babs Labs because like it was like the
Yes.
theme was like no class or whatever. And so I was thinking because I went to Bangkok like during when I was like on winter vacation because that's like the time to go because it's so hot over there.
Mm-hmm.
When you to go like anywhere like anytime else. So I'm like, maybe I should talk about my Bangkok stories or just talk about when I was such a bad kid between classes and stuff. Because I had like
Yes.
no class in between. Like I was like a horrible student between classes. I was like an angel to the teachers, but I was like a demon to my friends. It's a good duality, you know.
You gotta balance it out somehow.
Oh yeah, indeed. Awesome. So you're a visual artist too. What got you into being a
Yes.
visual artist?
Um, Anxiety growing up.
Indeed.
So, I'd be at home and I wouldn't I would just be I just had bad anxiety growing up. I think I might have been a little bit depressed. That's another story. But like I just had a hard time just talking to people. So I would be at home and I would be drawing all of my little characters and I would always have like I would have I would role play. I would be writing stories about characters with other people, sometimes real characters from like real shows, and I would draw them in my style and I would use them in stories or people would ask me questions and I had a semi-popular account. I had an account when I was like 13 for this fandom called Creepypasta.
Oh
You
yeah,
heard of it?
yeah.
So I got up to like maybe like 2,000 followers, and people would ask them questions, but I was doing like it got to the point where I was 15 questions a day, and I would draw every single one of them, and I got really stressed out, so I logged off and I didn't come back on one day.
Indeed. Yep.
So I've just been doing that, and yeah, I've always like whenever I get really stressed, I'll just take a picture of myself and draw myself really stressed. It helps de-stress because it makes it kind of funny. It's like, oh, it's so artistic and romantic, you know.
Indeed. That's a good way to get your stress, your anxiety, depression out. It's like my outlet was writing, so I just kept on writing all my feelings out, and it helps out. And creepy pasta, like my buddies were like, you have that voice that can scare people. You should read some creepy pastas and do some like audio books for them. But there's like a movie that's out that I saw in Hoopla about creepy pasta, so maybe I'll check
I
that
think
out too.
so. Yeah, yeah. Check it out. I don't know if the movie there's a show too if I'm not wrong. I don't know if it's good. I mostly just I thought the monsters were hot.
That's
It
awesome.
wasn't even because it was scary. I was like, ooh, hot monsters. I would draw them and I would make them hot. He would find my page and be like, what? And then they'd stay because it's hot. So yeah, I was like 13. So people didn't know a 13-year-old was drawing like borderline like cartoon porn on the internet. Throwback.
Indeed. So is your artwork like I have your Instagrams on the below the description box. So if you want to check out Mel's artwork, go to her Instagrams. There's old accounts and new accounts. I put both of them in there, I think.
Oh,
So
thank you.
yep.
Yeah,
So get some subscribers up.
thank you. It's less slutty. There's not
Okay.
much sluttiness. I've calmed down.
Indeed. So you're a storyteller too. So what made you? That's how we met. So how did you? What
Yes.
made you become a storyteller?
So more than a year. I think when I turned was it 21, 22? When I turned 22, no, before I turned 22. Before I turned 22, I went to Open Studios for Cork. So Cork is the space where, Barbara Colacielo has her space in. And I went and did the tour, and I found her space, and it just struck me as something very special. And we talked for a bit, and she told me what it was about. It was just a space for people to share their stories, lived experiences, get to know the people in Jacksonville. And I was like, that's really cool. So fast forward a couple months from that period, I'm about to turn 22, and I have like a little 22nd birthday party. But the day afterwards, I take my friends, um, and I take them to Barbara. My birthday happened to land on the Friday that she had her slam. So I was like, well, that's perfect. So for my 22nd, I went to her slam, and I just went up and I told a story for the first time, and I also won that slam. So first time that I got in, it's also the first time, and the last time that I had one. I haven't won a story since, but I also told a really intense story, and uh, a shorter version of what I told at the Blue Jay Lounge. The Blue Jay, I just refined it and gave it more structure, but it's that same story that got me to win.
Wow,
Yeah.
that story is awesome.
It's a good, it's fucking, it's a good story.
Indeed. I enjoyed myself, and the audience were just like the way that the crowd reacted to it was just perfect. It's just like you just took us on a great journey, and it was like beginning, middle, and end, and all these twists and turns, and it was just perfect. So I loved it.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Yeah,
stayed up until 5 a.m. the day before crafting it together. So
awesome,
I'm glad.
good stuff. That's great. And that was like one heck of a birthday present to you too, since you won and did told a story for the first time. That's pretty neat.
It was. And so that's, since then, Barb kind of has taken me under her wing. And we're working on a mural right now. She wants to have like a patio space, so we're working on a mural together right now. And I'm kind of an intern because I get access to her classes. When she has improv classes, I attend every Tuesday, and I get access to her slams, and I get access to her events. And in exchange, I work and assign her mural. And it's through her space that I have met other storytellers who were in for Barb. Um, yeah. And the other thing too is that um, what is it? I have been on a like healing journey or whatever you want to call it, and I was journaling religiously every single day for 3 months. I would journal for 3 pages, and within that time, I realized that a lot of the things that I was giving importance to, I didn't actually care about, and a lot of the things that I did care about, I wasn't doing enough of. So that's when I really dove into Bab's Lab because I realized it was something that I actually cared about, and here I am.
Awesome. I was wondering why you were there earlier when the last story slam that I went to, and I was like, "Oh, it's a great surprise, and you're helping out." And I was like, "Oh," and now that I put the pieces together, you're her intern and getting all the access. It's pretty neat. She's
Yeah, it's
such a
pretty
great
cool.
lady, and hopefully she'll be my future guest on the show. It'd be awesome.
Yes, she
Yeah,
is amazing. She
she's
is
at
such a
so
good.
much too.
Yeah, I
She's
mean, she worked with Andy Warhol when she was around my age, so she's got a lot going on.
you're like the next generation of Babs, because like it's like keep passing down the torch. It's like the same story, kind of. With her working with Andy Warhol and stuff. That's a big
Mm,
deal.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. Passing on the torch, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. So you're an
Cute.
ASMR creator, and what got you into making sounds and stuff?
Well, I've always liked listening. I like the chewing ones, which is really weird. It's like a hit or miss most people, but I love when they like chewing on like the chocolate and stuff, and I would fall asleep to it. And so I always bring it up. I just like ASMR. And one of my friends, she is so cool. Um, she's so freaking cool. Her name is Space Girl on Instagram, and she's mostly a model. That's the main thing she does, but she also does like a bunch of like random stuff that comes up for her, which she's included me in some before. And so she got me in contact with this man named Justin, and Justin, I think he is, and I don't have his YouTube, but I think he has a YouTube or some kind of website where he posts ASMR, and he pays $25 for 10 minutes of video. And he has sent me, I've gotten to make enough videos where he has sent me a mic and an adapter, and soon enough we'll be having like a green screen. And I do like personal videos where it's like, like, hey guys, how are we doing today? You know, it's fun. It's relaxing.
Indeed. My mom watches this stuff, like people eat stuff too. It's like,
Yeah.
Mom, what are you watching? And I'm like, and then I turn around, and it's like, oh, it's just people eating. It's like,
No, it's just people eating.
yeah, she's a,
It's fun. Like it's satisfying. It's
indeed.
almost as good as eating the food yourself. I don't know.
Right? I've been watching like people like eating all this food and like I can't remember his name, but he just like goes around the country and just like eats stuff. It's like there's like his name's Joel Hansen, I think his name is, and he goes to
Mm.
these eating competition places and just scarfs down food. And like when people give him like endless pasta at Olive Garden, like what the heck? Why are you eating? Like how are you eating all this? It's just insane. And he's very like like he's fit, and it's like where does the food go?
Where does the food go?
And he's sitting there the whole time eating. It's like I don't know how he trains himself to do it. It's and like Matt Stoney's another one, and like those eat hot dog eating contest people. It's
Oh my god.
like
No.
that's just too much dipping their hot dogs. Like
No, no. And they're like, oh god, no, my god. Would
mm-mm.
be constipated for days. No. No, no mukbangs. No mukbangs here.
Oh yeah,
Just
definitely no more.
ASMR.
Awesome. So when I we first like first or second time we met, we talked about how you're an entrepreneur with your own license. You're a licensed massage therapist, and you opened your own company inside like your own apartment complex and all that good stuff. And
Yes.
what got you to become a massage therapist?
Um. So honestly, this I probably should have mentioned this earlier, and it has to do with the story that I told. All of this, all of this, just it all kind of ties back to that story. So what had happened, if it wasn't clear during the story, is that I took a heroic dose of LSD, and I wasn't prepared for it, and my brain completely changed. The chemicals, my personality, everything after that moment completely changed, and my art changed. My art changed a lot, and the type of things that I do changed a lot. Um, but also just my ability to express myself was kind of opened up more. It's like I suddenly had more connections that I could be making in my brain, whereas before it was like they were there, but they were separate, and it might have taken years for me to get to it. But when that happened, it was like a crack, and that crack connected all of these spaces together. And one of them was, I mean, it's massage therapy, but specifically it's touch. Like I can just kind of feel where there's just a lack of energy. And the way I pictured it in my head is like, you're constantly, your body. If you look at the chakra system, it looks like this. It looks like your energy comes in, goes all the way down to your feet, goes back up, recycles, comes in, goes all the way down to your feet. So you kind of look like this. And while that's going on, it through trauma, through things that have happened in your life, you get spaces. You get like a pebble in the machine, and that pebble stops the machine from being able to work fully. So instead of being a system, instead of flowing, it has to now take a U-turn, go around it, and continue. So over time, people get more and more and more and more and more blockages in their body, and now their energy is like this, and it's just trying to get through their body, and that's how you get illnesses. That's how you get illnesses, like chronic illnesses, and like mental illnesses, like depression, anxiety, all that stuff. Um, so even though I am not like I can't fully incorporate it in terms of like I'm not a nutritionist. Food has a lot to do with it. I'm not a therapist. I am a body worker. So at the physical level, I try to like bring energy back into those areas. And the school that I went to was also a school. My professor is a physical therapist. So he took all the knowledge that he learned in physical therapy and he changed it for massage therapy. So it's like it's therapy. I relax, but I also have the knowledge to look at someone's posture or look at someone's repetitive actions. That's where pain comes from, and get rid of the muscles that are too tight, that are causing the rest of your body to work too hard. So I combine those two things, and it's just something I've been passionate about. I love to help people, um, and it kind of fell into my hands. I mean, I was thinking of going to school for it, but I was like, I worked so much. Maybe if it's in the maybe if an open house in the evening on a Tuesday, I'll go. And then there was an open house in the evening on a Tuesday, so I went. And I was like, okay, well, maybe if, and then it happened. So every time that I do like a but, the but is overthrown and I have to do it. So that's just kind of landed me here. And this space, I the renter offered $250 off of the rent if I were to work on him 4 times a month. So we get to trade that way. A lot of the stuff I have in my space was donated by people who were just happy for me. So it all just kind of fell into my lap. And I'm just going with the flow, I guess, suppose.
That's awesome. Good stuff. That's a great way to, save on rent too. It's like, trading services is like, people need to barter more often, and like, and I say if people like a lot of my friends are in the film industry, and I'm like, the hardest thing every single time is like them raising money for their movies. I'm like, first you got to write within your budget, if you're gonna make a movie, and if you can't afford it, make sure you put like a product placement with like their company, and then they can, give something back in return. There's like no money
Mm,
involved, so
mm.
you got
That's
the
it,
right
yeah.
idea. So I'm like,
Cool.
but
Oh, I love that. Yeah, yeah.
indeed,
Oh, yeah, bartering. I got this tattoo for 2 hours of massage. So it's a
awesome,
creation of Adam.
good
And
stuff.
along with this, yeah, bartering. I'm about to get like a whole painting for several sessions of massage therapy. I got a laptop for 5 sessions of massage therapy.
Wow,
All bartering. It says bartering is the future.
it really is, especially since
Yeah.
like everything's depreciates in value. It's like the money, and we were talking about, the pesos to the US dollar. It's like you never know when things are going to go up and down with this kind of like currency stuff. So,
No, no, you never know. Um, they're trying. Oh, according to my tinfoil hat conspiracies, they're trying
indeed.
to, what is it, lock us down. The collective. They're trying to keep us contained. So many people have opened up like their own businesses. So many people are like learning a trade or doing some type of creativity. They are losing their control because people are noticing that money isn't everything. And it's amazing. It's like a sacred war going on. But yeah, like, you know, you can't rely on currency at the current moment. You can't rely on anything being stable that
Yep.
isn't within the community at this current moment. No. Which is more a reason why I do it because I'm like, okay, so it's like level hard.
Indeed. Like at my festivals, like I go. You guys just want to swap merch, because that's, all my money that I'm gonna make off like people that don't have merch to swap. I just invest that back into the bands and the comedians, and buy their merch and give it out for free. It's like it's a nice ecosystem that we have at the festivals and stuff. So,
That is so cool.
yep. Because like you
Oh
said,
my
it's like
god.
money's not everything. I mean, it helps, with the recording studio and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's like bringing people together, and then the pandemic helped out a lot too, because like it got people to be more creative, and and turn their their passions and what they're creative about and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they put it to good
Mm-hmm.
use, and all of a sudden there's like help wanted signs everywhere, because like everyone's making money on their own since everything closed down. It's like we have to
Mm-hmm.
find a way to survive somehow if the world stops
Mm-hmm.
working. So it's like,
Mm-hmm. Exactly. No, I noticed that too. The pandemic. I think half of the reason was because people finally had a moment to slow down and be by themselves. There's, I get plenty of clients that just like tell me they've never had a massage, or I'll ask them like, "Do you have a break at any point during the work?" And they're like, "Nope, constant go 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 go." So I think like the pandemic gave everyone the opportunity to do nothing, which I think is really important for creatives to do nothing sometimes. You know.
Indeed. It save some time out to be creative and take some time to do some rest. It's like it's not always
Exactly.
9 to 5, paycheck to paycheck all the time. So,
Yeah. No, that's
mhm.
miserable.
Indeed, most definitely. That's why I did stand up, and because I was a journalist, and I knew that I had to get the truth out. But then when you get to be a journalist, you can get the truth out, but you can embellish it just to make it funny. And so people can't
Mm.
tell whether what's real, what's not real anymore, and you blend that. It's like it's
Oh.
so fun. It's like, and my friends love seeing people's reactions to my jokes. Like, is he serious? Is this what really happened to him? It's like the world may never know, but at least I got a reaction now. Yeah.
You're at least entertaining, right?
Yep. Indeed. Like all my old YouTube videos, they were all most of them was just me doing stand up, and I'm like, this is so fun. And like, you got to go to that dark place to make people like laugh and like with the lights shining. It's like it's so fun.
You're like, how the hell are you putting these two opposite things together? Like,
Yep. It's like,
so you
and
just
then
got on YouTube and you were just like, I'm gonna tell funny jokes.
oh no, like I started doing stand up like 10 years ago, and then I started
Oh,
filming all my sets so I could like learn where I can put more stuff in and take some stuff out, and like if people
oh,
aren't laughing like I was hoping, I would just like restructure everything and make sure people can laugh at like that part. It's like
oh,
basketball players and watching their game tapes. Like, oh, I should have done this instead of that, and you know,
oh,
yep, it's a pretty
oh.
cool thing. But I was like, this is just you hardly get paid to do anything, so it's like
Mhm.
you perform and they're like, here's 2 drinks you can have on. Here's some chicken tenders. I'm like, but this doesn't fill my gas tank. I need something for my gas tank.
Yeah, gas tank. And you got two drinks in you.
Mhm. Like I need some the other liquid. I need some more gas.
The other liquid. That's funny. So they don't usually pay comedians.
A lot of the time, no. And like,
Mm.
and if you perform at comedy clubs and you're like not you're nobody knows you or doesn't have a following, it's either you don't get any pay or you get like $100 for like 30 minutes. I'm like, well, that's just not right. And everything's like the rates are still stuck in the 80s, and like we're like 40 years later, it's like still the same rate. I'm like, you thought minimum wage was bad. It's like comedy wage is like the worst. So
Yeah, oh my god. And you're putting yourself out there like
yeah,
like like there's a reason why I do storytelling and not comedy. Like the jokes come out during the story, but
yep,
the jokes are not the story. With comedy, the jokes are everything.
yep.
That's so much pressure.
Every minute you have to get a laugh, and in order for it,
Yes.
oh, it's and those 5 minutes sometimes seem like forever too. It's like, especially when you're doing horrible.
Oh
It's like, get me
my
on stage.
god. It's like cricket chirping.
Oh yes, oh it's
Oh
so
my
bad.
god. Oh,
Some people throw tomatoes. Some people just rush the stage.
not for real. For
Oh
real.
yes, I've seen some bad things.
Are you serious?
Yep,
No. I thought that was a
fights.
myth.
Yep, especially like if
Fights?
especially if you have like like people say don't joke about religion and politics when you're on stage because there's somebody that's like on the opposite side of them. Like, sure you're a Christian, but there's people that are atheists and like and all that stuff. And then like people are Republican or some people are Democrats and they're like, oh, I don't like him because he said that. It's like, and so that's why I stay away from all that stuff. And then I just put all the jokes on me instead, and so people can relate to like that more than politics and religion. So it's like,
It's funny.
indeed,
What is it? What's it called? Self annihilation? No. Self
deprecation.
self deprecation. Yeah, self
Yeah,
deprecating jokes. Yeah.
and like my best friend,
Basically.
my best friend at the time was like, I can't go to stand-up shows because everyone like talks down to themselves. I'm like, but you haven't seen my stand-up yet. I don't talk down to myself. I just tell everyone my misadventures. That's like,
Let them decide.
yep. Like one time in Thailand, this happened, and I'm not. I talk about the lady boys and the tech north and stuff.
The lady boy.
Like it's their polite way of saying it, I guess. And it's like, okay, that's wild, but okay, I understand the cultural differences, and so that's how they word it. Like, oh, Bangkok, I miss that place. I haven't been back for like 17 years. It's not. It's just a wild time. It's
What?
yep,
You gotta go back. Come on, you gotta get some new stories, please.
indeed. I'll. I like if I ever get chosen. Like if Grant ever picks me to do the Vulgar show, like I'll be like, oh, I got some stories.
Just walk up to Grant like, yeah, so I did this. It's pretty vulgar. I would say personally. Pretty tasteless, you might even say. I don't know.
Yeah, it might scare people, but let's go. Let's do this. But yeah,
Even better.
he's my featured guest like in like a week or so. So I'm excited to interview him and pick his brain too and
Oh my
awesome stuff.
god.
Can't wait.
Yes. Ah, yeah, Grant. Grant
He's
is
awesome.
he is really cool. He is so cool. The scope of his coolness, um, it has been revealed to me slowly throughout time. So it'll be like one person like, well, the owner of Blue Jay is a big fan of his. He was in his band. Like she has like a whole wall like, dedicated to him and everything. So that's how he
Wow.
got the space there. Yeah. She was like, Grant, whatever you want, I'll do it because I love you. You're the best. I am a hardcore fan. Like, wow. Like that was so cool. Like you just did it like that
Mhm.
easy.
Yeah,
Mm.
that rapport is something else. It's like I have a venue in Daytona Beach, and they're the same thing, and they're a dive bar called the Tirnog Irish Pub. It's called it's Irish for the land of the youth, and so there's like that's where I cut my teeth in stand up. But I was always like very supportive, doing things above me and beyond, and so it's like whenever you want to throw your festivals here, just come in and tell us, and we'll reserve 3 days for you. And it's like it's good stuff. So that's been what I've been doing for like the past 3 years over at the Nog, is like putting the festivals together there. But there's a storytelling part too. So if you want, you can be a part of the storytelling portion.
Where? Where is this?
It's in Daytona Beach, at the Tiernanog Irish Pub, and it's on International Speedway. So like you'll see like the world's famous beach sign, and it's like a block and a half from that. So not too far away.
What? Is it like an open mic?
Oh no, it's a book like festival. Like I used to have open mics towards the end, but I'm like sometimes it just got out of control. It got way too long. I'm like I'm just gonna just keep it booked show like festival instead.
Oh my god.
Yep.
When is this?
My it's this one's gonna be in October, and the one in Colorado is in July. So
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I
yeah.
would love to. That sounds amazing. I need to get out of Jacksonville. I'm so bored sometimes. I'm not bored. I've grown up here. So I get a little bit stir crazy. There's a lot going on in Jacksonville though. I'm grateful to be here. I am grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be here.
Indeed,
Sometimes it's just nice to go get outside of the area though.
most definitely. That's why I'm like in the middle of like Daytona, Orlando, and Jacksonville, so I can bounce around. So it's like it's
Oh,
so heavenly, and it's like only an hour away from each direction. So it's like
yeah.
so nice.
That's so nice. Like, kind of bored. I'm gonna go over there now. I'm
Yep.
gonna go over here now. So you're over here ruling Florida. You got your little place. You like the warm weather, huh?
Yeah, much better. And because I was a horrible driver in the snow, and I'm like, I'd much rather drive in the
Oh,
rain than the snow. So,
yeah, that makes
and,
sense.
and like here, it's like the opposite. People don't want to go out during the rain, and I'm like, a couple of my buddies dropped out of the shows of my at Fringe, and I'm like, how come? It's like because we don't like lightning and thunder and rain, and I'm like, oh, I'm so used to this, and it could be worse, but I totally get it. So.
It's even kind of nice. It's
Mhm.
like ASMR. The rain pattering on the ceiling.
Yep.
Like that's
And
so cool.
I can't go to bed without like putting like a YouTube video of like it raining and thunder, and lightning, and I'm like,
Really?
yep, I need to like pass out to something.
Oh my god.
Yep, it works every time. So ASMR works every time. So I just can't go to bed with someone eating on the
Oh
screen.
yeah, okay, yeah, true. Yeah,
It's
no.
like,
Me
so
neither,
quick.
actually. I only dabble. Once it's time to sleep, I turn it off, and I'm like, all right, time for bed. I'm not having weird Cookie Monster munchy dreams tonight. No,
Indeed, Elmo, yes. Cookie Monster, no.
no, even Elmo though. His voice is too grating. I couldn't
Yeah,
fall asleep to that.
indeed.
Elmo, like now. I gotta hear myself every day. I'm not even Elmo.
Indeed. Awesome. So your company's name is Hands on Healing, and why did you pick on Hands on Healing? Is it because of the chakras and the auras and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want it to be like the massage place. It's gonna seem. There's a lot of fishy massage places around town. Pretty sure they don't just do massage. So I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure it's therapy. And it's just therapy, guys. No,
Indeed.
no, it's the only happy ending is where I get my money. That's the only happy ending. I have to say it. It's the first thing I get every single time.
Wow.
It's well, also when I do it and I get really into the flow, which is like maybe like 40 minutes in. So I love like long sessions, like 2 hour sessions are the best because I get in the flow. I get like my hands get prickly. I get like weird. I get like a prickly feeling between my hands, and the whole session goes very smoothly once my hands get kind of prickly. So it just kind of feels like it's all about the hands. So you know, hands on healing. It's a healing space. The my logo is based off what's the band's name? There's a band and they have an album cover and the cover are like these two hands and then there's like it's like an orange background and there's like it's like a sparkle kind of like there's like orange rays coming out and the hands are kind of doing like this is the direction of the album cover. So I sent the album cover to the person that made my logo, and they just made a more cleaner version of that. So, and so once I saw it, I was like, yeah, hands on healing. I was gonna do all
Awesome.
hands on healing, which would be like all hands on deck,
Uh-huh.
but that would be too much. So just hands on healing. Also, all hands on deck is just it's too much space. It's just it's too much wiggle room there to be weird. So no,
Yeah.
no hands on deck.
No hands on
No hands on deck.
Awesome. I'm trying to think of the band. It's like the first thing that came to mind was Soundgarden for some reason, but I'm like, but they had like this like a sun or something with like I don't know. But
Here,
then
hold
I
on.
thought of like a reggae band and
I have a picture. I took a screenshot of it, and I might be able to put it up. Hold on. I know.
awesome.
Once I tell you the band, you're gonna be like, "Oh, that one." Um,
Indeed.
it's this one that. Where is it? Um, Holy smokes. Um, no, 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 no. Ugh, hold on. Oh, here it is. Okay. No, I can't. I can't. I just have the picture. I don't have the band. I don't have the band name. Um, the only reason I know about this band is because everything's just so interconnected. It's amazing. When I was fighting for my passport to try, because I wanted to go to Colombia for the first time in 7 years with my family, and everyone was praying for me. Everyone was just waiting for the good news. And the moment I called my brother and told him I got my passport, he told me he was listening to this song. And the song was in the album of whose picture was that. which he mentioned it to me, and he was like, whenever I see this album, I think of you, and that's what he was listening to the moment I called him. So it's all been very synchronistic, and it just seemed right.
Indeed. Do they have like a familiar song or something that comes to mind? Like, are they a reggae band or like a rock band or something? 'Cause I think of
mm,
reggae too for some reason. Because like I don't know why.
Reggae. You think I would have sent you? Could I send something in the chat? No, I can't
I
send something in the chat.
I think on Instagram. Yep. But
Here, I'm gonna send you a screenshot of. I'm almost certain because you know so many bands. Um, that if you saw it, you would know exactly what I'm talking about.
awesome.
Here, I just sent it. I feel like it's kind of more instrumental.
Hmm.
Like there's not. It's just kind of more instrumental kind of band. I would say it's like a kind of like a lo-fi. Um, and in the album that I was talking about for like 3 songs, it's like really really sad, and then halfway through the song, it suddenly becomes very happy and uplifting. And it was when the happy part of the song came on, that's when I called him and told him that my password had gone through, which is why he was like freaking out on the phone. He was like, "What? Oh, this is so weird, Mel. This is so weird."
Indeed. Awesome. Yeah, like I was like I'm like my musical taste is like stuck in the 90s for some reason and I'm like I am so outdated. And like I have an iPod that I had like that I plugged into my stereo. It's like a nano. It's like a really old iPod.
Oh
But
my
like
god.
the music is stuck from like there's nothing past 2009.
Oh my gosh. Well, early 2000s had good music. Uh,
And
90s had good music too. Well, I'm a 2000s baby, so I am not an expert.
oh, for sure. I'm way past I'm old, and I say like because like Asians like I just say like Asians don't raisin, because I'm like I feel like I don't haven't moved since like my mid 20s. I'm like, and like it throws people off because like we don't know whether you're 18 years old or like a 2,000-year-old shaman. Like we just don't know.
Yeah, you fooled me.
Indeed. Oh,
I thought
it's
you were my
wild.
age.
Indeed, it's a trip. It's like I don't know how to look old. Like I can't. Like I don't want to smoke cigarettes. Like, I don't want to sound old either.
No,
Like get all raspy,
no, no.
And
No,
like
it's fine.
my parents are like really loud Asians. Like my whole family's really loud Asians. So it's like I'm like the quiet one. It's like why are you guys so loud? It's like you're so close to each other.
Oh, trust me, I get it. Latin families are like that too. They're
Indeed.
like, "La, la, la, la." It's like, please,
And there's like
stop,
these Asian
chill out.
markets in town, and they're like when it was like pandemic time, like I had like a face mask too, and they're like, you're like a quiet ninja here, and like everyone else, like you can hear from a mile away.
That's why you look so young. You're unproblematic.
Indeed.
You're just zen.
It's so true. And like I go to this Thai restaurant, and we were talking that you work at a Thai restaurant, and it's like there's a place called the Zen Bistro in Daytona Beach, and it's like they make this they have this Thai iced tea ice cream, and
Mm,
it's so delicious. I'm like, this is
mm.
so yummy.
That sounds good.
And like the slices are so big, and it's like $9 or something, but it's so worth it. It's like if you love Thai iced tea, imagine it in an ice cream form, and it's just like, oh, heaven on earth.
Oh my gosh. And that's in
Yep,
Daytona?
yep. It's called the
Oh,
Zen Bistro, and
the
it's just,
Zen Bistro. Oh my
mm-hmm.
gosh. I'm not a huge fan of Thai tea by itself.
Oh,
Well, at my restaurant anyway, I feel like they make it too sweet.
oh,
But I love me some ice cream. If any, like I get migraines easily, but if it's cold, I don't get migraines. I don't know why. It's like I trick my brain. My brain's like, oh, the atoms are vibrating at a very slow level. I guess we're not gonna give you a headache today. So chocolate goes in the fridge. Any candy that I have, goes in the fridge, and ice cream I can eat. It won't give
Awesome.
me a headache. So I would love to try it and live.
Indeed. If I ever make it back down there, there's also a place called Neighbors Ice Cream. They're the ones that make the Thai iced tea ice cream. So
Oh,
you could get like a whole bucket of it. And so
oh my gosh, oh god, that's
if I make it
dangerous.
there if I make it down there before, I should probably get bring some to Babs Labs and just like have everyone, because everyone makes eats dessert there. Like dessert and
Yeah.
ice cream's like the best combination.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. Oh
So
my god. You gotta
I'll
put
go
it in
to the
some
store
ice
soon.
though. Like,
Oh yeah, I have this thing I bought from Bucky's where like it keeps everything cold, so I'll just steal their
oh
ice
nice.
and then put the ice
Yes.
cream in there.
Yes. Oh my god, please. Oh my god. That'd be so good, please. Oh, it would be the
Awesome.
best. I would
Most definitely.
volunteer. I'll volunteer that day so that I can get first picks.
There you go. Awesome. Yep. And like the lady that made the desserts last time, there's like the pineapple upside down cake was just amazing.
Oh my god. I had to hold myself back. I was like halfway through my second pineapple and Grant came over. Hi. And I was like, eat this, Grant. Eat it now. You're like, okay. Yeah, I watched him and it was like, it's all right. So
Oh,
good. Anna
but
Jacobson is so good at what she does. And the only reason I know her name is because she makes really good food. Okay. I do not know anyone's first and last name ever. Ever.
same. I'm so
Yeah.
bad with names. Faces, yes, but names, no.
No. Oh my God. And it's, I'm so
I feel
bad. The
bad
real
too.
reason. Yes. Yes. If I didn't have soap notes, there's a real reason I have soap notes for all my clients. Well, obviously to track what I do and their progress, so I can look at their name. I got a client in 30 minutes. I'll like quickly go through the picture. Like, okay, Anna. Okay, Anna. She has a dog. Okay, cool. I'll bring that up in conversation. She's gonna think I'm so personable.
Awesome. And
No.
it's so awesome that you work with like creatives and artists to, and help them out, because like we're all, as in fellow artists, it's like we're all under stress, and it's like so many emotions go through us. It's like, and you're like one of the best people to help out in those cases.
Thank
And so,
you.
yep.
Thank you.
And so you
Well,
just, oh, go ahead.
oh no, go
Oh, you described yourself as being stubborn, so and
on.
you will never want to feel like you're working a day in your life, and so that's a great attitude to have.
Period. Period. I mean, I don't. I don't. This is one of the things I saw when I had my ego death experience is that like a lot of people live the way people are living right now. It's not sustainable. It's not how we should be living. It's not how we came back. This is a game. This is all. This is all of a game. It's all an illusion. We just came here because we wanted to have some fun. And people make it so serious and make it so serious. You gotta work a 9 to 5. You gotta get a family. You gotta be in a relationship. You gotta do this. You gotta look like this. You gotta look like this. It's like all these rules, and it's so silly because it's an open world. It's like Skyrim. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You just gotta, but you just gotta know that you're in the game. When you think that the game is real, the game takes itself very seriously too. That's how you get people that are like, nothing good ever happens to me, and no matter what I do, people keep leaving me, and I keep having, my relationship keep breaking X, Y, and Z, and it's because like they take everything way too fucking seriously. It's not that serious. Like it's really not. Like nothing matters. Therefore, everything fucking matters
Yep.
as long as you let it matter. If that makes sense.
It's
You
like,
know?
whoa, like that was an ego trip.
Exactly. Welcome to my life.
Awesome. I love the way you put like ego death too, because like there's some people that just they have huge egos, and I'm like, when I was in my hometown, it's called Pueblo, Colorado, and there was like people walking around with huge egos for a small town. I'm like, what are you still doing here? Like, you should try and make your way to LA and see how big your ego is there, and it's like we're trying to be like blue collared. We're like hard workers, and we get our dreams out there any way we can. And then there's just people that are just so egotistical. I'm like, you should try some LSD.
Right? It
Yeah,
doesn't
you're
work for everyone, though. I noticed not everyone gets the same. Like, not everyone gets the same. Not everyone sees that. Like, I've met people that have taken all kinds of psychedelics, and well, it's like a ledge. It's like you get on the you take a psychedelic, and it's like you are now put at the ledge of a cliff. And most people stay on the ledge. A lot of people I notice they do. So it's like everything looks very pretty. The view is beautiful. You're tripping out. It's a good time. If you fall off the ledge, that's when you get into all the really weird shit.
oh,
But it's scary to fall off the ledge. It's scary to be crazy. That's like the worst thing you can do and be in society is be crazy. It's like the worst thing you can be. Like to make no sense, to be crazy, to lose your mind is the worst thing you can do. But it's honestly one of the most freeing things too. Like lose your mind. Be insane. Your mind is constantly whispering stupid shit to you that doesn't even make sense. And you believe it. If you lost your mind and just had a heart, most people would be completely happy with their life.
most definitely. And so I love like En Vogue says, "Free your mind, and the rest will follow." And so yeah,
Yes.
and like I love the way that
Exactly.
your final quote was like, "My goal is to live off of all things I love to do while spreading love and truth, so that others can be inspired and realize they can do it too." And that like hit home. Like when you sent that my way, I was like, "This is awesome." But
Oh.
awesome. So Mel, are there any if you can nominate five storytellers to be on my next guest, which five storytellers would you like to be seen on the next couple shows?
Johnny. What's his last name? Johnny was you Johnny W. I'll send you the Instagram. Johnny W. Super cool. Super cool. Told a story about helping a mama duck get her duckling out from the sewer drainage. And when he did it, finally, after like a long time, the mama duck put her uh, flipper on his foot and looked up at him, turned around and quacked, and all of her kids quacked, and it was like this beautiful. It was a beautiful story, and he's won several slams. And Johnny would be a very good storyteller to have up. Um, Delia Glisette, which is Johnny's current girlfriend, would also be a good candidate because she is amazing. She has so much to say. And the things that I talk about that she realized on her own. No drugs. She just been known. She is a psychologist, but she looks into people's like astrology charts, and she looks where she sees where there's spaces that are missing, and so she, based on those two things, like on your session with her and based on your chart, she prescribes you like herbs in order to like. And she's amazing, super cool. She's also a visual artist, and she has done improv before. And she's a good storyteller. She just hasn't gone up on stage, but she's an amazing person. Um, who else would I'm just so bad at names, Sarah. Yeah, we were just talking about names.
Indeed.
oh, Rachel, my friend Rachel, Hypnotic Cat on Instagram. She's told stories before. She's more of a visual artist, but the way that like her business kicked off is an amazing story. So it would be, if we're talking about artists and being successful artists, and I would point you in her direction. She's super cool. Um, okay, that's three people. I got two more people there. Honestly, anyone on the winning roster of like Babs Lab right now would be really good candidates. There's you got 11 people that are now, and you'll see their names next month. Is the last story slam before we have our grand slam, which is when all the winners come together and tell a story. And he's going to release a flyer, and on that flyer you're going to see all the winners, any one of those winners, because they all told incredible stories. There's one, the last person who won, I think her name was Megan. She would be cool to interview too. um just because her story, from what I've heard, is just all about doing whatever the fuck she wanted, like doing, like constantly doing whatever the fuck she wanted to do, and it all worked out for her in the end. And I think that's really cool, and that's something that I feel like people need more
Awesome.
of. And that's all I have.
Good stuff. Indeed. I'll make
And
sure to
Barb.
like check out the list and everything like that. And but yep, Mars for sure. And so is there any final word you'd like to give out to the audience, Mel?
Final word. Um, hmm, Final word. Um, do whatever you want to do, bro. The world loves you. The world loves you. Like, you know what? Yeah, that's what I want to say. Like, that's every so often I get to, when I ego test, I got to be a part of everything, and that godly essence sometimes just kind of shines through and tells me to tell someone that they're loved, or tells me to tell someone that they're missed, or that they need to calm down, they take some deep breaths. So the universe in me is telling you that you are loved and supported, no matter what you do, no matter if you think you're worthy of it. You are, because you're here, and that's a gift. It's a blessing.
Indeed. Good stuff, Mel. And I was joking about the LSD stuff. If you want, try it. If not, no pressure. I don't like as far as I gone was weed. I'm like, I'm staying away from LSD and Jolly Ranchers from the story that you that told you. I was like,
Ah, Jolly Ranchers. Oh my gosh.
good stuff.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Mel, you're the best. Thanks for being my guest on this
Thank you for
Storytellers
having
and
me.
Nacers. You're welcome.
Yes, it was
And
amazing.
looking
You're
forward to
so
seeing you
cool.
there. And thanks for taking me
Yes.
on a journey. And we will see each other soon. And thanks for the nominations too. So as for everyone else, well, take care of each other, and we'll see you on the next episode of Storytellers and Naysayers. Be well,
Very,
everyone.
very
Take
nice.
care.